on the camera for now. Yes, brothers and sisters of Golden Grove and surrounding communities, good evening. I bid you a warm welcome to this public meeting organized by the Working People's Alliance as a partner of the APNU. And so all we are one family, no worries, yes. Good. As you know, the APNU and WPA are in one partnership contesting these elections under the tag APNU. But tonight, the Working People's Alliance comes to you to speak to you in its own name because we are responsible for what we say and not necessarily what people interpret. So, brothers and sisters, I know we were scheduled to start earlier, and so I don't want to stand between you and the speakers so much too long. And I'm going to invite to the podium tonight what we call a virgin speaker, freshly minted, a debutant. And so to speak to you tonight on this podium at our first political meeting as a candidate of the APNU is an educator, a community activist, a cultural activist, a mother, a member of the Christian community, and I could continue to give you a long list of portfolios and interests. But that's not my duty tonight. My duty is simply to introduce to you Sister Bonita Hope to the podium. Put your hands together, Golden Grove. Right over there.
In that area, you are there as a citizen now. All right? So all the citizenship in Golden Grove. Good. All in for going to place, yes. All right. As we can see, I'm trying to just have a one-sided thing. This thing is a dialogue. It's a discourse. Nice. Because before things not regular. This thing is not my thing. This thing is not. It's the next 30 years. And I can tell you, the new thing between free and invented. I know child left behind story, but that story is a very bothersome story. And that is. Level.
Good night. How you doing? You just got me a second night. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Mhm. You know what I do? Mr. Energy. There's eh? So you're not telling me you're going to see me. You're not telling me you're going to see me. But you still asking me now, you. You not tell me you're going to see me. Right. You tell me you're going to see me. But say you say you're going to see me. Okay. Okay. They tell me say you're going to see me here. Anyhow, I knew it was you. I was pulling your legs. I knew it was you because I know you're coming. Sure, I don't know if he's still in meeting, but once he's out in meeting, he's likely to come. He's just coming out of the program, he'll come. All right, good. Thanks. We shut out the bar. We using it for campaign office. All right.
When it comes to trade,
Let's see if hey,
I'm working for so many years, and up until now, I honestly cannot own a bicycle and call it my own because I cannot afford that. If I buy a bicycle, I'm not going to suffer until the other month. And that's not what we want. How come I can live in his best life, but he didn't consider us? Did he? I don't think so. Because if you are making, if you are bargaining on our behalf, you were supposed to come and consult with us. We are more than you. You are not speaking on behalf of us. You spoke on behalf of yourself. All right? We are more than you. You need to come and talk with us, negotiate with us. When we take 10 and 8%, and then the thing about it, what is one for? The government is disrespectful by extension too. Because you know what? They tax that money. And when they don't tax the money, you ain't really got nothing there to talk about. That is even no money for them and their drinking buddy for one night. And that is why I want to force down our throats to get God and now. Alright? Only then you get it. So I want to tell Command that because of him and his decision that he has made, the level of disrespect that he has shown to the teachers, I am here standing. Edmund Bark positive that evil triumphs when good men stand and do nothing. But trust me, tonight I'm here. I will stand and do something because Uncle Mac will be held accountable as well as the government of Ghana. And typically, you too. We are going to hold them accountable. You are unconscionable. How you can treat other humans like that? And then you come smiling. You want the best of results and you treat us like dogs and rats. What is that? They want to take the liberty to go into the supermarket and walk through it as in comfort and pace. It's a shock. But yes, we must get in the marketplace with the hustle and the bustle, and you're trying to find a $500 passport, which doesn't exist in the market. What nonsense is that? Eh? How much could be so unfair? And everything about it. It's my money. It is our money. It's not government money, you know. They didn't put the money here. That's not theirs. That is our money. And you are dictating how we money must spend, but we can't spend any money. Unlike someone started. Well, anyway, they don't know. They must account for what they are doing. So I'm saying to you tonight, all of you get on board. All of us cannot take the front line, but get on board and be the change you want to see in your community. Let them not take you and try to intimidate you. That's what I know. Intimidation time done. Then now walk. Because when you try to bullet me down, and I was someone take my place. And like I always like to tell them, if you try with me today, the spirit will beat you tomorrow, worse than me. So don't come to me. None of you. Now I also have a problem with this. Young people, I'm not so young, but I deal with a lot of young people and I can relate to you. Don't worry when I say get rich quick or try dying. Don't worry with them. Get rich quick or try dying. That's not for we. We cut out to earn our thing, not get rich quick or try dying. Because in the process of getting rich, the diagnosis is still an accomplished nothing. Just hold the strain a little. Hold strain. Things from the better just now. Anything with green, it shows growth. It shows growth. Green speaks about agriculture. Agriculture is nothing with the banyan tree here. You understand? Growth is key. So our young people who believe that, hey, money got met, take the time and make your money. Those who put the money take you know. You got always happy. When you collect the money, you collect part of the money, you sign your covenant with the devil. You know what I'm telling you? And if a lie, after the way come, no one is still challenge me. You sign your covenant with the devil when you collect the money. Because there, you're going to collect a part of money that say, hey, no, that's misquality. Yeah, it's not okay. What's that song? No. The next minute, hey, Wafi, I want to do this job here for me. I want to do this gift. Because, hey, Wafi, this man bothering me, you know, he's coming too troublesome. He irritated me. I can't deal with that. So and always be. You understand? Change coming. It is just around the corner. The most times when you are at the brink, when you are at the brink of change, that is when you are distracted. Don't be distracted. Join the movement. Let us do this thing together and show them. Because we are the people of integrity. You want nothing dirty. I told you want nothing dirty. I want no bribe. I want nothing. Because I stand on the law, I stand on the side of principle. I have integrity. I respect myself. And I respect each and every member of my family. You understand? So don't believe you could buy me. I am not for sale. There's just one girl that is not for sale. So, alright? So I'm saying to you tonight, Golden Grove, just call focus. Join the movement and let's go. I thank you for listening to me.
Thank you, Bonita Hope, for opening the package. All the judges, give them a round of applause. There you go, keep the faith. We make what we are stupid. We young what we are stupid. We vote in APNU. APNU, we burn them out. We have to burn them out. If Ghana will grow, the PPP must go. If Ghana will grow, the PPP must go. When the APNU and its people central policies, next thing I know, is a man from BV, a Baronian, the man that is always raising the issues that are affecting BV and standing up for the rights of the people of BV, so much so that the PPP send people for BTO. And that is not stopping. And so I want to encourage each and every one of us to be a way and maintain that fighting spirit and see the backs of the PPP come September 1st. But Elton, the mic is yours. Put your hands together. Golden Grove. Golden Grove. Now, good night. As the brother said, I'm from BV. And one of the ones told me, BV people got away where they don't shout much. They let them dance, go back plenty for the night. So, I might walk around the day easy, but don't test me. So, what I'm here to discuss, one thing I want to discuss tonight is this question that we keep hearing a lot. Black people can't do business. Black people don't like land. You know. And it's reflected today in the society where agriculture is dominated by other people and not black people. Business is dominated by other people and not black people. But they keep saying it, so we want, many of us tend to believe it. But I will show you that history tells us different. When our foreparents walked out those plantations, what did they do first thing? They didn't just go and sit down in the rock shop and drink. They didn't just go in a corner and beg somebody for a walk. The first thing they did was bought land. They bought their fields. They bought Golden Grove. They bought Victoria. They bought Boston. And what they did with those lands? They planted those lands. And by the way, their planting was done by way of what we call the cooperative. It is for this same reason, because of what our foreparents did in the 1840s and the 1850s, for cooperative, that this country became the Cooperative Republic of Ghana. So, if you look at those cooperatives that they formed, you will see some very successful large businesses, right? They were people with little resources, but they came together and formed large businesses because they know to survive, they need to come big. They didn't know everybody trying to fight each other down to plant the cassava around to the market. But there were things which mitigated against us, things that came against us to make us to stifle our businesses. And one of those things was the introduction of other people into our communities. Like, for instance, I bet you, I'm from BB, but I can bet that anybody my age grew up among, there were Portuguese children growing up in Golden Grove. How did the Portuguese come to Golden Grove? They were foisted upon us. The people at Namakis tried to resist them, but the court said that no, we got to take the Portuguese in the village. That's why I call them the Portuguese mafia. These Portuguese, they came here to fool us in the fields to say, then our reporters were saying, look, we can't work for them and go back from our here. They make the Portuguese man to work in the fields to say, look, my father does the same work for the same one area in the fields. But our people said, no, we will farm our land and produce our own food and trade with you. But what they did not allow give our peer owners license to trade. So the people of Golden Grove, when they produce planting cassava, whatever, dashing or whatever they had to sell it to a Portuguese merchant because only the Portuguese were given trade licenses. It is for this reason, when we look around Guyana, the Portuguese have more money than black people. They are very few, they are less than 2%, 3% in this country, but they own more wealth than us as a group of people because they were dictating what our planting, cassava, dashing, or whatever it is, what we sold that to them, and then they dictated how much profit they must make. So these Portuguese families became super rich, right? Then they say black people can't do business. But the laws were against us, the policies were against us. Since then they flooded our lands. Many villages on the East Coast there, if you look at it, there are government structures on the northern side, and Pleasant, so that it goes the police station, and so on. TV, the same thing, government offices. So they took away our land because other guys that we were not effective at maintaining the sanitations of the community. He and I were in neglect. So they took away our land. So they did every which thing to make sure that we were separated from our lands. Right? And this land grab continues. I mean, even the governments that we've had, no government really supported black people land holdings in this country from the time we walked off the plantations. They tried to make sure that we lost land. So we as the people have been neglected in terms of land in big ways. Now, I'm saying all of this to show that black people are not visibly agricultural, not because they don't want to be, but they were forced out of it. Right? We know those of us in modern times remember there were quite a few black rice millers in the 90s who came up and did well. But the banks and the government came against them. We had the coming over West Coast Demerara. We had the store in Grove and some other like Wall in the River Coast. All of these rice millers were pushed out of business because they were very progressive. The Indian rice millers remained with the ton ports and wonton mills from their grandfather's days. But all these black sellers, they came in and they were operating 10 ton and 20 ton mills. And that was showing up the rice that those who were there for years how to manage business and the government and the banks push them out. So we have always had a fight drum from the authorities or those who control the economy in our agricultural pursuit. But I'm saying what? The APNU government the APNU plan, once they're back in government, then they will help our agriculture. So our back plans that once again become productive. Look, if you look, as I said earlier, no government has really supported black people's agriculture. They've had how many rice development schemes that you know? We have black food schools, we have NNA, we got to keep in their scribble. There is no plan to salvage irrigation project. Where black people were working. Now we need to reform our properties and get going under the APNU proposals because they will need assistance in agriculture. And let us demonstrate to those people who are saying that black people can't do agriculture, that once again we are here. Now, the system before we mentioned prayers, no child left behind. But only last week, we had Irfan coming with another strategy. No policeman left behind. Now, if a policeman can't perform at the level of a constable, can he perform at the level of a sergeant? So this is just a mechanism to buy votes. I'm not saying that some of those positions may not be broadly promoted, right? Because we know for those situations where some of positions were recommended for promotion and they never got promoted, but the other people who particularly wanted some promotion. So we need to look at that. But the other thing is, how can you just give somebody a promotion because of years of service? You know, I worked in a workshop while coming up. I know you're not necessarily 10 years experience, 50 years experience. But all that 10 years experience was taking time on the glass trucks. And not experience working doing other things on the truck, like working on the engine. All they got 10 years experience in the workshop, changing tires. So it's the same with the police. Some people got a lot of experience in the police force, but they did not do much. I'm not judging the police force. I'm not a part of that system, so I don't know, but I know from general scheme of things, you know, people may tell you they got 10 years experience in this job, but then you find out all they have been doing at that job is like the carpet, nailing the hammer, they can't measure. So how can you promote a carpenter who obviously nail, not a nail in the wood, but you can't go to how to read a tape? Can you make it with woman on the side? So that's what Irfan is doing. Promoting everybody because of the years of service, and so we will have a worse police force than we have on the kids today if this continues. So I have something. This is also said that we must all be part of this movement, and I have a blog, or I have a request for you listening to me now. We are aware of the Muhammad phenomenon. We are aware that this man Muhammad is making some inroads among our youth. He has been giving away some things, and people feel that because he has been giving away things, he will continue giving them things if ever he gets some lean on government. By the way, you know, a vote for Muhammad is a vote to the PPP. So, Muhammad will be in power if the PPP has enough votes to get a minority government, and so Muhammad will be there to back them up. So they will not be, and it will not get easy to override them in parliament. So, now Muhammad. Who is Muhammad? Any of you know Muhammad? Or the Muhammad family, let's say, go back 10 years ago, 15 years ago, what were they known for? I will tell you what they were known for. They were the people who financed the Phantom Squad. They were the people who killed black children. Yes, Muhammad killed black children, or paid to kill black children. No, black children are running behind Muhammad, saying you give them some. Tell them what they need. Tell your cousins, tell your nephews not to believe Muhammad. Please, Mohammed had no good intent to help black people. He had no good intent towards our people. He intends to just do what the people want. Remember last election we had Ralph Karan. He was totally against the PPP. Then they got into parliament, what he did is support the PPP. The same thing Mohammed will do. So let us remember that. Now, Mohammed, if we go back into 2012, there was a vote that was talking to Rasul that got robbed of gold into Rasul. It's a vote, by the way. This gold was smuggled from Guyana. The Guyana government never investigated whose gold it was, because they know the gold, who was. They never, if they investigate, they never made it public. You know why? Because the boat belongs to Mohammed. They were all involved in that exercise. So Mohammed used to smuggle Barak, Jack Leo's boat, and the resident boat. So this thing with Mohammed fighting off Jack is a sham. They keep criminals together all along. Let us understand that. And once you be doing that kind of thing, then we'll say, oh, I think that take land to catch. So let me look at that. So let us tell our young people and all of those who run in the economy that it is a waste of your vote. If you really want to get rid of the PPP, put your vote in one place and vote for the APNU, vote for the farm, and not split it up and say that give everybody a chance. It doesn't make sense. Now, this is the mention about being used by those people to do some dirty work. Here's an example that just finished in court. A man named Selwyn Peters, the one who killed Warren Boston. Did they find a representative for him in court? Was he represented by a lawyer? Then lose the man. They basically used it by himself. He killed Boston because he was instructed to give us all these types of value. He was happy to do it. But when he reached court, he alone stand up in front of the judge. Not even a lawyer on his behalf. And that is what they do to little black boys who are foolish enough to believe in them. So tell your nephews, tell your cousins, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, don't follow those people. They will let you down when you really need them from them. I will not keep you longer because there are others to come. But I will ensure that you do the right thing. Encourage your neighbors, encourage your friends, encourage your cousins to vote APN on 1st of September. Or because we know, for the Guyana to go, the PPP must. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. For Guyana to grow, the PPP must go. Brothers and sisters, let me tell you something, especially for young people. There is no giving anybody any chance right now. All of us, every single one of us can have one aim, one single aim, and that is to get rid of the PPP. As long as we agree that we want to get rid of the PPP, then it's an easy thing. The only way we will get rid of the PPP is putting all our votes in one place. Because the law says the party that wins the biggest number of votes is going to form the government. Then say a little bit there, and when you add up a little bit, they will form the government. No. The party that has the largest number of votes as a single unit, they will form the government. And so, brothers and sisters, don't split the vote. Don't be a little bit there, at least this time around. Put all of the votes for the APNU, and with that, you're giving yourself a good chance of getting rid of the PPP and enjoying the
people-centered policies that Army Norton, the rest of Atlanta, and the rest of APNU have in store for you. Let me just tell you about one of them. It's called rent to home, rent to own, rent to own. Some of us pay rent for our life, and at the end of the day, we own nothing. Army Norton, the director of the APNU, said, we're going to give you a chance to own the home that government was building, you're going to rent from them. If that is not positive for you, then brothers and sisters, something up around. Be big and be stupid. The next speaker is an educator. We got a lot of educators here today. And that is why I usually tell people, if you look at the APNU list, by far, it is superior to the list of any other political party in this country, especially the PPP. They offer us thieves, they offer us rapists, they offer us child abductors and murderers. We are offering educators and other professionals. An educator for more than 3 decades, I show. A professional, a justice of peace, and so many other caps this young man wears. But tonight he's wearing the cap of a candidate of the APNU, a member of the Working People's Alliance, and he will address you. His name is Your Abrams. As a matter of fact, let's give him his right name. He is Fort Dion Abrams. Fort Dion Abrams for you.
Good evening, residents of Golden Grove and surrounding areas. Forgive me if I cough a bit because I have a cold, having been speaking at these meetings for the past few weeks. But I believe that it is important to have this discourse with you because we have to understand the critical juncture at which we have found ourselves with the elections that are scheduled for September 1. The fact that you are here, I believe, is evidence that you understand where you should be and what you should do. That the APNU is the movement that you should be following and that you should give your vote in these elections. When we have a concern, as has been expressed by the other two speakers, in relation to our young people who seem not to understand what exactly is at stake for them in these elections. And it therefore means that they're not here, but you are here, and you must be the ones to speak with them, to improve upon them the importance of them moving away from this dangerous path that they have been living and walking along. You see, the APNU has already put forward ideas for the people of this country. And the ideas are not only for any particular race of people, because the APNU is a party for all Chinese. The other parties may say The fact is, we are not condemning them because we understand that the knowledge of the history of this country, because of the very education system that the sister spoke about, has left them void, empty of knowledge that would inform the way they think and the way they act, and would dull their understanding of the possibilities for betterment that will come when the APNU takes the government. Look at what is happening in relation to policies and policies that have been put forward. At the launching of the APNU election campaign, Mr. Martin declared a number of things, and there's a lot more in the manifesto. But he did say that primarily on the agenda was reducing the harsh realities that we face every day when we have to survive in this country on the meager salaries that the PVP has held us captive by. And we know there is a reason for that view, that wanting to get us out of poverty, because we have been using it as a weapon to control the people of this country. And so they come to us and they offer you a 10-day week work at the village councils and so on. And you are so badly in need of the $40,000 that they're giving you that you don't want to lose the job. So they have their rallies all across the country, and they demand that you dress in red and you go to their rallies to give the impression that they have the support of Afro-Guyanese. Recently in Boston, a young representative of the Ministry of Works came to Boston and was offering $30,000 per day to young African men to go to Vietnam and to put PPP flags on the pole. Imagine, they have found $30,000 per day to give to people to put up PPP flags during this election campaign. But the catch was that you are going to give them the $30,000, but you have to wear the PPP's red jersey. So they design all these schemes because what it does is that it breaks our morals. It makes us feel so demeaned that we have to grovel. They are so poor that they come with us with all these, low-life, undignified requests. And we, because of our condition, are forced to accept. And we have been saying to the brothers and sisters, if they give you the money, accept, do what they demand, not to kill anybody, because they have made those requests of our brothers and sisters. But when you are done, just like you did in the local government elections, vote them out so that you can be on the path to power. And so, the 35% increase for public servants was announced. And that, in itself, sparked a kind of panic in all the other parties. Just Gil came again. That man is so disrespectful to Guyanese. He holds such contempt for us that that he and their friends can tell us now that after these elections, they are going to work to reduce the high cost of living and poverty in there. 28 years they have to do it. We can excuse them. They didn't have oil, but they had the gold, they had the bauxite, they had the timber, all of our resources that were being squandered, and for which they were taking kickbacks to have the gold exported to Brazil and in trawlers and all these things, so that the Guyanese were never benefiting fully from the resources of this country, and it is happening even today. But he wants to reduce poverty. And they are talking about increasing workers' salaries. The sister just explained what happened when teachers were on strike for 6 weeks. How they hung the teachers, and then they found a traitor on board who sold the teachers out for 10, 9, and 8%. And now, as some forward, fully exposing himself as a member of the PPP strand. It is indeed a sad affair that we have to find ourselves betraying our people in that way because we are self-serving. All of those who are shouting that they love the PPP, that they have found a home in the PPP, and that you should join them because they are enjoying the best of life, they are not doing that out of a concern for you as a brother or a sister. They are doing it simply because they believe that they will either get a ministerial position or that they will in some way benefit only for themselves and not for the people. And we must condemn them. We know that I heard one of them saying that they call me names and they describe me in all kinds of ways, but I don't bother with them because the PPP is the place that I should be. That's only a front. You can't be a traitor and not feel some form of guilt in your stomach. But they put on this facade to make us feel that they're all right. But the PPP is going to push them in a corner. All they need to do is to win back power in this country, and all those fools will find themselves exactly where the PPP wants them. We had a young lady who was very vigorous and vital. She used to come on to the WPA program every week. A very feisty young woman. And she joined the PPP. I can't remember her name though. But I gave her a position in the Ministry of Education, and that was it. You hear nothing about her anymore. Nothing at all. We have these puppets like the Prime Minister Mark Phillips, who came to this very village when Queen Marcos was shot, and Kidaki and others confronted him, asking him, because Jackie was out of the country at the time, to make decisions in relation to
Not out like that.
like How do you check my test? Yes, what I was saying. That Mark Phillips came to this village and he was asked to make decisions, to investigate those who would have taken them. And he refused. He didn't refuse. He just could not do it. Because he doesn't hold the position, but he doesn't hold it out. And it is indeed sad that we have African brothers and sisters in the PPP, and they sit there and they do not raise a voice when our brothers and sisters are shot like dogs in the street and left to die. They do not raise their voices when teachers are protesting and demanding a better life. And Jack Neo is refusing to accede to their request. We understand that in the PPP at times, that even during the teachers' strike, that there were those members of the PPP who are begging Jack Neo at least to give in to the teachers so that they could go back to work feeling a bit free. But the man mind bad, he mind dirty, and he never feels that it is right for him to make African Chinese feel. You see, Daniel believes that he must never give us that belief that we can fight against the PPP and win any concession. He prefers to send the police and to gun us down in the street and to try just to treat us.
Ain't got anything you can do. Qualified.
Sorry about the technical difficulties that we're experiencing. Before I conclude, because we have other speakers, I see some of our young brothers and sisters out here, and I'm happy that you have come, because I believe that you are enlightened, and that you will be the one, the catalyst, to change the path that your other young colleagues find themselves taking. You see, I asked one of my students the other day, what is it?
You can't use the battery for the speaker. I ain't got anything.
I just want to do something. I just bear with these difficulties. I was saying that Jack Hill operates on the premise that if we win one victory, that it will give us a sense that we can win others. And so it refers to devise schemes to brutalize us, even to kill us, to make us feel fearful and intimidated, so that we will not struggle on our own behalf. But they know our people. I have said that there will be a breaking point in this country when it does happen. That the likes of Jackie will understand the anger that we have been bearing, and that flame that is within us burning, and that will eventually set the skies alight. The flames of our internal being will be seen across the skies of this country.
Yeah, welcome up.
Let me like this you job up here. So you feel it every time he tell you something, it's what they tell you. You're not supposed to know black people by black people, not hear nothing. You don't mean wait to come. You can't wait to get it. But you get nobody who knows what you're going to do. Yes. All right. Yeah. But that's what they're going to do. Who does that? Who gets monks? Who gets monks? There go. There is some now here. Take it easy. Dance to me, love. They're not there.
Audio check, make us 1, 2, sound check. Oh, yeah, man. All right, so before I conclude, though, you know, we must understand how, and this is what our young people don't understand, how horribly and dangerously we are allowing ourselves to be used. The Christian Labor College had 2 fires. Those fires were basically not by accident. The Christian Labor College is the last place that was left where Africans were allowed to gather to hold their activities. They burned down the auditorium, first of all, and now they burned down the whole institution. And we may not be surprised if they're going to come with a claim that the land that the Christian Labor College rests on belongs to the government and that they want to claim it. We will have to fight against them in that regard. Educate our young people, tell them that a vote for win is a vote for the PPP, and if the PPP gets back here, that the win will be a loss because they will support, like the other party, the anarchists, let's support the PPP in final. We have, because we've been running late, the other speaker to be with you tonight is a warrior of the WPA, He has been on the struggle, the front of the struggle for decades, and he understands our political situation very well. I call to the microphone Brother Takuma over on the stage. Give him a round of applause as he comes.
Good evening, sisters and brothers of Golden Grove. Tonight, we in the Working People's Alliance are here to support our allies in the APNU in preparation for what's going to be the most defining elections in the history of modern Guyana. We are here at WPA to speak to you in our own name because we believe that there are matters to be discussed in these elections that our partners in the APNU they have difficulty dealing with because conventional wisdom when you are engaged in an election then you have to concentrate on certain things and you have to behave in a certain way. And we trust their judgment. So when we are on their platform together, we toe the line. But we come at the street corners in our name, not to toe the line, but to define what we the Working People's Alliance believe these elections are about. This election is a normal election. In a normal election, the playing field is equal. The government is impartial. The voting list reflects in a real way the voting population. Government spending is restricted in the election period. The state media is open to all the political forces. And sisters and brothers, you and I know you are fighting for electrics in order to deal with limiting the PPP's ability to either. But because they control the kingdom, they were able to force status. And we are engaging in these elections in an environment that makes it extremely difficult for us to win them, but we have to win them in order to save Guyana. We have to win them in order to save the African community. But elections, sisters and brothers, why is it about numbers and winning? It is also about understanding what are the present challenges and what are the future challenges facing the country. And we, the WPA, is saying that the African condition is equally important as the national condition. And we are not playing games with this matter. We are engaged in an election struggle in which oil and gas have transformed the political engagement. Never before in the history of this country, from slavery to the present, any rulers had at their disposal the kinds of money that the PPP has at its disposal, and if they allow them to continue in power, they will have tremendously more money. At present, we have in Guyana more wells in operation, and we have more money, as I told you, than any other government in the history of the country. From 2020, when they returned to power, they got money and other resources. They expect today and ask us to compare what the APNU did for you in relation to what they are doing. They are spending an unprecedented amount of money in this country, $4.5 trillion. But what is the end result of all the spending under the APNU and you? The cost of living was more manageable to the average citizen. Water, electricity, and a lot of the essential services were more reliable. And in case of this massive spending, we have to act. We have to act. Who is benefiting from this spending? And I want to point out to you that the PPP that is returned to power in 1992, and then in the end of power of 1992, to when we kicked them off our backs in 2015. They had about 22 uninterrupted years in power, spending billions and billions of dollars. We have to ask them, why in the 23 our people naturally fall victims. And it is the duty of us as political leaders to understand what is the divided moment, what divides our people from the rest. It is not a lack of intellect. It is the economical, social, and historical circumstances that have shaped us in a negative way. And we have to correct it because good order. in United States dollars. And if we are be careful, what they rich get richer, we the Africans and the generally the working poor get poorer. And we the WPA is saying, we will have none of that. We have to fight these elections to win it in order to make the struggle going forward easier. But we have to say to the PKP, and we have to make it clear to all the international observers, for the Western powers and our Caribbean allies. We have to say to CARICOM, we are contesting these elections in a situation which is far from what is required for free, honest, and competition. And in that context, if the PKP win these elections, we in the WPA are calling African people and calling the Chinese people, but I emphasize the African people, because at the end of the day, we own less than 10% of the economy. Indians and the Portuguese, and now we have the Chinese over 90%. And then people are economically comfortable. They don't have the same priorities like you who are suffering. So we are saying to Africans, this is a point and time, a defining moment, where we have to stop talking, call a spade, and prepare to do what is necessary to ensure that King Oil don't do to us what King Shiva did to us. And this must be the message that we're trying to defeat the PKP in the elections, but we have some bigger agendas. We're trying to transform the economics of this country so that never again Africans will find themselves in this economic fight. We in the WPA will press any government, including our own government, that they have to give a commitment to use oil and gas revenue to correct historical injustices among the ethnic groups in the country. We want a national commitment that all the money will be used to make sure in a reasonable time the African economy, the American economy, comes closer to parity with the Indians and the Portuguese and the Chinese. We don't want to leave this thing the chance. We cannot leave it the chance in the context of that. Let me give you a simple example because the PCP is trying to put a script on us, a clever script. They're saying your economic model is for all Chinese. Nice words, but at the examine the objective reality. All Chinese are not in the same condition. And I'm talking about
The lights are on.
Yes, yes. Oh, okay. Tonight we get some equipment challenge. I think this is the worst since we began the campaign. And I know Dr. Hines is here, and I know you want to hear him. That was overstress you in light of all of the difficulties. I was about to make this point. That the PPP is trying to put a clever grip on us. They're telling us that they are interested in an economic model that will improve the life of all Ghanaians. I am 73. I have been in politics at the age of 16. And I have heard all politicians, all governments, all political parties say that. But what is the end result of them having said that? The end result of the present condition, their Africans and Amerindians own less than 10% of the economy. So how hard will the population to live and survive on 10% of the economy? So, sisters and brothers, I want you to move it here along the simple equation. Let us say, for the sake of argument, we're going to give each, and we're going to reduce it for the sake of time and speed to the African and the Indian community. The African community, let us say, starts at 10%. The Indian community starts at 50%. Let us say we can share and we can share our money equally among the African and the Indian community here. And we'll give each of them 10% of your wealth. So in year one, we give the Africans 10%. That can the Africans take the 20%. We give the Indians 10%. They've gone from 50 to 60. In the next year, the second year, we give the Africans 10%. We move from 20 to 30. We give the Indians 10%. They move from 60 to 70. You can never catch them up by that formula. And that is the grand trick the PPP is trying to throw upon us. And we have to make sure as African leaders and African politicians that we don't fall for that trick. We don't fall for that trick. We in the WPA is saying we want a point in time to come when on the basis of national policy written in the constitution of this country that foreign wealth must lead to the correcting of historical injustices and must be designed and spent in a way to make sure that in 10 years or in 12 years, African, Indian, and Amerindian economic base is close to parity. Anything less is a disservice to our ancestors who have fought and struggled to make this country habitable so that all the indentured servants who came after us could live and develop in the space that we built. And we are saying from this platform, Guyana has been bad to Africans. And we are putting Guyana on hold. We are putting Guyana on notice that regardless of the outcome of these elections, Guyana has to settle the score with Africans. And I call them no in Golden Grove. And I call on all Africans wherever they hear my voice. Prepare, get battle ready. Our first battle is on September 1st. That we have a major battle on September 1st, which we must win at all costs. But whatever happens, prepare for a post-election battle, because they, the working people of the Alliance, are damn sure they will be a post-election battle. Thank you and good night. Thank you, Brother Woman. Short and sweet to the point. Brothers and sisters, let me remind you again. The surest way of getting rid of the PPP is by ensuring all of the votes are for the APNU. We split in the vote, we giving this body a chance and that body a chance. We taking our votes and put them in one place where they will matter. We voted for APNU. Brothers and sisters coming to the microphone is a fighter, a warrior. The man who tell Anel not to let him meet their boxer like up. The man who tell everybody that he's a Shakespearean guy. You know the man, I know the man, you all know the man. Put your hands together to welcome Professor Dr. David Haynes to the podium tonight, brothers and sisters.
Thank you. Thank you, Brother Kedaki. Good night, Golden Grove, the Barclays, Haslington, and further. It is so good to be here tonight. The last time I spent time on the political platform here was when they murdered Quindon Bacchus in cold blood. And I want to start tonight by saying that when the APNU returns to government, not another Quindon Bacchus will be murdered in this country. Not another African youth will be murdered in this country. Sisters and brothers, these elections, as you heard, are going to be serious. This is a political battle. We are fighting the PPP to win an election. And make no bones, this is a straight fight between the APNU and the PPP. Don't let me tell you otherwise. And we are fighting the PPP. We are fighting GCOM because there is a plot at GCOM to rig this election in favor of the PPP. So we are fighting rigged elections. But I want to say in your name, from this platform, that if the PPP only rigged this election as they did in 2020, they will know where party are going. Let me repeat it. We, on this opposition side, on this APNU side, on this side of the righteous, we will not accept rigged elections in 2025. In 2020, 48 boxes become statutory document. 12,000 votes, they steal. 4,000 people voted who were not here on election day. And that was just a sample. 16,000 votes are about 3 seats that they rob us in 2020. In 2025, it will not happen. Today, GCOM made an announcement. GCOM said, vote buying is a crime. Vote buying is a crime. That anyone caught buying votes is liable to 6 months in prison plus a fine. And that person will be barred from contesting and participating in future elections. This is GCOM. energizing the fund by force. And now she comes at this 11th hour is telling us it's an offense. What it means is that for 2 years, she comes back and allows the PPP to rig the elections by buying votes. So the elections are being rigged as we speak. Sisters and brothers, we are fighting against freedom. It must be a fighting against the PPP. And so we all have to be soldiers because we have to overcome the rigging. We have to overcome the PPP. We have to overcome evil. This PPP government is the most murderous, the most thieving, the most racist, the most uncaring government in the history of modern Guyana. So when you go to place your vote, you're not just voting for the fun of it. You're voting to take back our country from the bullies, the racists, and the murderers. Now, it has to be clear, marching orders, do not waste your vote. It's one vote to get. Do not split your vote. It's one vote to get. Do not sell your vote. It's one vote to get. I want to say, the place to put your vote, put the palms in the air. The APNU palm, this hand is clean. It does not Wyndham Bacchus blood. It does not Boston blood. It does not Crummy Wing blood. It does not Waddle blood. It does not have the blood of 400 and more young black men. Clean palm. Sisters and brothers, we live in a country where an 11-year-old child going to swim will be fished out of the water. And 4 months later, a government that gets cameras all over cannot tell us who murdered that child. And we all know that the murderer is walking the streets of Guyana. The murderer is protected by this government. And so, on the first week of taking power, the APNU government would launch an independent investigation that will catch the murderer of Adriana Young and put him where he belongs. And those who aided and abetted him, they will also be brought to book. Sisters and brothers, the PPP tell us how much they spend. But you know, when the PPP says spend, they mean thief. Because they spend to thief. Every dollar that they give out in a contract, they thief 99 cents. And so, do not be fooled. Do not be fooled by what they tell you yesterday. You know, they told us Aubrey Norton was not elected. They wanted to steal the position from him. They say he too black. They say he don't spy. They say he don't this. But on September 2nd, with your vote, we will inaugurate. We would put in the presidency Aubrey Compton Norton. They told us that nobody will come behind the APNU. Don't worry, David Hines. If you come to Golden Grove, 2 people will turn up. There, why they think that I should be banished, and those of us in the WPA. Because for the last 5 years, we have been saying to you, our supporters, that in order to win this election, we have to stick together. And they don't want us to stick together. They want us to be separated so that they can win. But we are going to stick together. We are going to fall together. And we are going to win this election. The greatest sin in Guyana is poverty. The World Bank said that 48% of Guyanese live in poverty. That means half of our population lives on 1,100 Guyana dollars. 1,100 Guyana dollars. You can't buy a food with $1,100. If you buy a food for lunch, $1,500. What that means is that half of our population cannot even buy lunch. Poverty in the fastest growing economy in the world. And we are committed to ending poverty. And here's how we're going to do it. We will ensure that you are able to earn a basic living, that you can get 3 square meters, that you can get passage, that you can pay your rent, that you can get enough money to invest in a little business. The Working People's Alliance said, if we take 10% of the oil money, 10%, and we divide it among each household in Guyana, each household will be entitled to $1 million. And what is a household? A household is a pot. A household is not a house. Because in a house, mommy and daddy living upstairs. They cook in their own pot. The son and his family downstairs cook in their own pot. The daughter cook in her own pot. So in one house, you will be entitled to $3 million because a household is a pot. When the PPP give you $100,000, they left out almost 20% of the population. Young people, 17 years old, 2 children, they didn't get $100,000 because they weren't 18 mission is to get you out of poverty so that you can live a dignified life. The other thing we will do is that we will raise the wages of workers. Public servants will get a 35% offer. We say offer because we go sit to the union and negotiate. And if the union say 45, we will say let's negotiate and probably go to 40. But one thing is certain is that workers will get a living wage. The other thing we will do is that they owe public servants a lot of money. Since 1999, public servants been getting 6%, 5%, 8%. So they owe you money. And when we come to power, we will say, in lieu of that money that you're owed, we will give each public servant one plot of land. You can take it as a house lot. You can take it as a piece of land to farm. You can take it as an investment. Sisters and brothers, we will put green money in your pockets because we want you to get out of poverty. You see, when you are not in poverty, nobody can come and buy your food. When you have wealth, nobody can come and take advantage of you. And so we are committed to fighting poverty from the face of this country. We want to say that governments can do things for you. But you must also judge governments by what they don't do to you. An APNU government will not go to Waka and bulldoze their home. We will not go to Hillfoot and bulldoze their home. We will not murder black young men. We will not cover up the murder of the Henry boy. We will look out for you. And sisters and brothers, we have to get serious in this country. One of the things we are going to do is that we are going to get the guns out of the hands of our young people. Too many of our young people are killing themselves, scattering scores with guns. We're going to take guns out of their hands. And we're going to put wealth, real wealth, in their hands. We are going to create employment. We are going to get them into real businesses. We will invest in the young people of this country. We will bring back a form of national service where our young people can learn skills. So many of you of a certain generation benefited from national service. And we are going to bring back a form of national service so that our young people can be off the streets and can be trained in skills. We are going to bring back night schools so that our young people can go back and learn a trade, get their CXCs through night schools. the level of literacy in this country. And we can do it because we have the tools to do so. Sisters and brothers, they're giving contracts for roads. Look at the quality of the roads in our community. Look at the quality of roads. If you give young people $3 million to build a road, by the time they buy material, their workers, they ain't got nothing to carry on. So what they do is stay on the road so they can carry on something. Under an APNU government, we are going to train our young people in road building as engineers, so when they get a contract, they'll be able to build proper roads. We will invest in young people. Let us be clear that these elections are serious. Let us go up and count every single vote. I've been told that in Golden Grove, they're coming in here and they're putting up their flag. And some of you have complained to me that you're not seeing APNU flag. I pledge to you, before the end of the week, we are going to ensure that your village is flagged in green. I promise you that from this platform. Some of you have complained about jerseys. You don't have a PNU jersey. On the one hand, that's a good thing, because there's a demand for our jerseys. And I know, I go to Congress Place. They're working hard, trying to print more jerseys. But I promise you that Golden Grove, Nabatis, Haslington will get its full complement of jerseys also by the end of this week. And we are saying, politicians have a way out there. They come to you at election time. And when they win, they don't come back. I make another promise to you, that when we win, within the first few weeks, we will come back. And we'll come back to say thanks. But more than that, we will come back to ask and to find out what your needs are. How many people are unemployed? How many people have skills? And we will look after you. Yes, when you win, you govern for the entire country. But you must never forget the people who fought you in. And we will not forget you. They call me a warrior. Well, I'm a warrior out of government. But when we win government, I will also be a warrior in government. I'll be a warrior for poor people, warrior for ordinary people, because we have to make right by you. And I make that pledge. And I will say to my colleagues at home, really say to them, that we have to keep our pledge to our people. We come here at the street corner. You come out in your chairs. You come out in your benches. You come out here because you love us. And not very often we say from this platform. We love you. I love you. The WPA loves you. The APNU loves you. And we are going to show you that love when we get into government by ensuring that your needs are taken care of. I see a lot of older people here tonight. $41,000 for pension is an insult. And we are going to raise all age pension to $100,000. And we are going to find a way that old people will not have to go and line up for $100,000. We'll find a very efficient way to get your money to you. You have served this country, you have served your people, and you deserve better than to be treated like animals. The other night, I was in TV, and there are two donkeys walking up and down. And the people in TV says two straight donkeys. I said, what is the donkey the name? There's one named I and one named B. And everybody said, that time they will fool you. One named Orphan and one named Barrett. On September 2nd, we'll get rid of stray donkeys. With your vote, we'll get rid of stray donkeys. Last night, I was in their room at another meeting. My little man, G-Dad, you run up and down, up and down. You say, what up? They say his name A. But this guy said, I'm here. On September 4th, we have voted out all the names he died. Sisters and brothers, it is time we clean this country up. Donkeys and dogs have the right to live too. But we have to make sure that we have a caring government that is going to take care of people and take care of animals too. This government is a manly government, is a stray-body government, is a drug-tail government, and a pampered government. And you all know what you must do to pamper people. We have at the top of our ticket of resources the Director General, Garnet Michael, representing the three major ethnic groups in this country: African, Amerindian, and Indian. We are going nowhere in this country if we don't unite as a country. But the unity must be based on equality, equity, and respect. And so, as we celebrate and elect our three top leaders, we want to be an example to this country. That's why we are an APNU coalition. Because we represent what this country looks like. They say David Ant is a racist because he likes black people, but he must like himself. Whereas I cannot love other people if I don't love myself. And I love all the races of this country. You know why? Because I love myself. I did not ask to be born black. I did not ask to be born African, but I stand on this platform and I say that I embrace my color. I embrace my culture. And if other people can say they're beautiful, I want you to say black is beautiful too. And say it without any fear. I will not stand on this platform and tell you that black people are better than Indian people. We are not. But we are equal to all the other people in this country. And until the ignoble and unhappy regime that hold our people in bondage is removed, we are not going to develop as one people, one nation, one destiny. That is what we are destined to. Indians cannot progress if Africans do not progress. Africans and Indians cannot progress if Amerindians do not progress. We are all in this together. And if you vote for the APNU, we ensure Guyana progresses, but that each ethnic group, their problems be taken care of. And that's what we're about. So, we have been to the mountaintop so many times. And we have looked over and we've seen the promised land. And every time we have gotten near to the promised land, they have tried to push us back. But we are standing there tonight, under God's heaven, in this beautiful village, which was created by the blood and the sweat of beautiful people, to say enough is enough. We have suffered too long, we have cried too long. Woman, hold her head and cry, for her son has been shot down in the street and died. Brother John King asked, how many more, how many more? Too many tears, too many tears, too many funerals. We want to sing a black song. We want John King to sing a happy song. And so, I stand here tonight as a son of the Grove, as a son of Africa, as a son of Guyana, as a son of the Caribbean, to say that together we will move this murderous mountain in front of us. Oh, the Lion of Judah shall break every chain and give us the victory again and again. Believe in ourselves. Believe that you're equal. Believe that you can do what all other humans can do. On September 1st, we have a date with destiny. We have a date with justice. We have a date with freedom. We have a date with dignity. We have a date with what the Almighty has put us here for. We have a date with emancipation. And emancipation must mean total freedom. No longer must our women have to cry. No longer must our girls have to wonder where the next meal is coming from. No longer must our men not stand up and demand. No of that old calypso, woman piaba and man piaba. We know of woman piaba because the women have always stood in front. But I'm glad to see my brothers here tonight. I want that you stand up and you man Piaba on September 1st and protect your women. Protect those ballot boxes. You must not only vote, but you must protect your vote. On that day, on September 1st, let us put on our battle gear. We have won many battles, but maybe we feel that we have come to the end. But we have not come to the end. So tonight, let us pray. Let us call on the spirits. Let us call on the ancestors to give us the strength, to give us the courage, to give us the power that we can overcome. Oh, let the power fall on us. Oh, let the power fall on us. Oh, let the power fall on us. Oh, give us justice, peace, and love. Oh, let the wicked burn to ash. We are the people who are called upon to lead us out of this stench. We are the people who are called upon to lead us out of this misery. And oh, we have done it before, and we are going to do it again. Let us show our power. Raise them to the sky. And when you go in that ballot box, say a silent prayer. Mark the X, sexy as ever. When they touch the card, sexy as ever. And then when you walk out, be prepared to protect those folks. Sisters and brothers, in the event that I sound like a preacher, it is because we are called upon to evangelize from our city. We are called upon to go beyond the surface and to go deep within our dying belly, to go deep within our African belly, to that place where the oppressor cannot see us, that cannot find us. Like Dr. Martin Luther King said, on that day, after we have finished voting the APNU back into office, we can raise our hands and raise our voices and say, thank God Almighty, we are free at last, free at last. I love you. I love you, Golden Grove. I love you, Hospital. I love you, the backless. I love you, black people. I love you, Guyanese. We are in this together. And we all on September the 2nd shall meet on that beautiful, beautiful show. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! When the history of this time is written, it will show that you stood on this ground on August 4th, 2025, and pledged to your ancestors and to your children, never again, never again.
Thank you, Golden Grove and surrounding communities. I encourage you to become ambassadors. WPA has spread the message of APNU and the importance of casting every ballot, every vote for APNU. Stay strong, brothers and sisters. Much love.